Welcome back, guys. We're the No Good Sports Show, and here we're about to talk about the state of sports. Abdullah, Saad, how are you guys doing?
Oh,
Oh, nice,
Great
guys.
catch, great catch.
cheers, man.
Welcome back, guys. Make sure you guys keep cleaning your hands. A lot of sports are stopped at the moment. Abdullah just gave Saad a hand sanitizer. Thank you for that, Abdullah. Next time, maybe send one this way. All right. So, how are you guys doing? How's your quarantine going?
I'm actually not minding because there's a lot of sports to help me through this time. Very
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, every day, there's a new Raptors game. Game 4, Game 5, Game 6, Game
All
7.
types of sports.
All types of sports, every single sport, football, cricket, basketball, baseball, golf, even
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
No, so yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's a tough time
It's a
period.
tough. It's a tough.
Without any sports. Right now, I'd be very intrigued to watch golf. I think that's the state we're all in right now. Even curling, golf, stuff like that is stuff that would really entertain us. But honestly, without sports, I mean, it feels like something's missing from my body or something's missing from my day. I just wake up and I'm like, oh, like, what am I going to say? There's no basketball, there's no soccer, there's no cricket.
We're not even allowed
I
to
mean-
play outside.
Yeah, that's a tough one as well.
This is the first time I'm dressing up since quarantine. It's a very
This is the first time I've made my hair since quarantine, actually, because as we haven't been able to go up. No, so
Let's take a minute to reflect how this all started. March 13th, 2020. I don't think it would have been as serious if it wasn't for one NBA player. He didn't, touch all the mics or however he got it. Mr. Rudy Gobert. Can we just talk about how you guys felt during that, or when that news broke out?
well, he touched every mic there was, every single mic, and he made sure he didn't miss any of them. Actually, he went back to touch all of them.
Yeah.
No, he was leaving the interview, and he came back. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna touch all of them, and then you know what? It's not gonna get me. Corona's not gonna get me.
He's like, oh, it's not a big deal. And my favorite thing about the Utah Jazz is the organization. No player got it except for their two best players.
Donovan Mitchell and I mean, it was a shocker, but honestly, big shout out to OG Anunoby. If he didn't get into that fight with Rudy Gobert and get both of them ejected, maybe any Raptor players could have got it. But OG Anunoby took one for the team, one ejection. Doesn't matter, we won the game, and no one on the Raptors has the virus.
And also, Norman Powell got injured that game, but no one really cares because he got canceled right after. But okay, from Rudy Gobert, this may be related or not related. We know players like Christian Wood got it.
Yeah.
Marcus Smart from the Boston Celtics, and I believe other Celtics players, but they just haven't released that.
Yeah.
You have 4 players from the Lakers, 4 players from the Brooklyn Nets who they've not released.
Except Kevin Durant.
We've got 2 players from the Lakers who are not Anthony Davis. They tested positive. You got the owner of the New York Knicks, James Dolan, testing positive, which I found crazy. He's like 70. Good luck to him. Who else? You got a number of celebrities. Idris Elba. You got
a couple from the Philadelphia 76ers. They haven't released the names, but a couple from there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think? It was the right from this team to not release the names, or should have done it like the Utah and told them?
I think
Rudy Gobert, all these players.
I think they should have released the names so the public who have had public contact with these guys know that they should go in isolation and
Exactly.
Because I think this is bigger. Because I believe the reason they wouldn't release those names is for the player's reputation, and I think this coronavirus is so much bigger than the player's reputation. There's nothing to protect. If you have coronavirus, you should tell all the fans and the general public that you have coronavirus. So like all the people who had been in contact with Rudy Gobert, they went into self-isolation. Kevin Durant got it, and Drake was seen hanging out with him.
He was put in self-isolation.
He ended up being negative, but he went into
Isolation.
which is good on Drake. But what if he was positive and Kevin Durant wasn't released? Drake would go hang out with other people. It's terrible. I'm glad that they should release this out in the public. And shame on Christian Wood. He criticized the Detroit Pistons staff for releasing his information, like leaking his positive test results. But I feel like he should have done that himself.
Yeah, that's a possibility. That depends on each player, though. Each player has their own choice. They just want to go into self-isolation. The thing is, every NBA team, they hug it out at the end of the game. They shake hands. They say, "Oh well." But at the end of the day, if one player has it, there's a high chance that almost it could spread a lot. And as if we've seen, not just basketball, but even the Olympics have gone till 2021.
That's
The
crazy.
Euros,
First time
Euros-
since I believe
pardon?
the Olympics are canceled.
Yeah, postponed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Postponed. Yeah. So Euro, the football tournament that was supposed to be in the summer, that's till 2021. The CONMEBOL, the South American football tournament that was supposed to happen, that's postponed till 2021. Every single league in Europe, except for I think the Belarus league, as of last week, it was still going on.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was the Belarus league. There's one league that's still going on.
Good
I'm
for
not
them.
sure if it still is. F1, golf, Wimbledon being called off the first time since World War II. So it's much bigger than everyone anticipates, and the way it's rapidly growing, it's very
Glad to know that I was at the final public gathering in Toronto, or Mississauga technically, before this all happened.
The Raptors G League.
905, yeah. Probably the last time I'm going to be in a large group for a while. But, let's talk positive somewhat. Realistically, is there a chance that this league resumes?
The NBA season?
2019-2020 season, or any other leagues around the world?
I think the NBA has a good chance of restarting because I don't know if it's all rumors and all, but there's many reports that the NBA is trying to continue the league. We saw Austin Rivers was on Instagram Live talking about the NBA is trying to get the season to continue. We saw, I think it was the Houston Rockets coach or owner saying that they're preparing to play in the playoffs, not the regular season. And I think he would make that statement if they got a message that that the NBA is trying to forward with the season and go towards the playoffs and actually get a champion. So I think if there is a league in North America or around the world that's going to continue, I think the NBA is possibly one of them.
Just know that, but by bringing back the league, so much is going to be disrupted. For the past, however long the league has been going, the league has been from October to the finals are in June, and then every single player has 4 months of rest. Obviously, you cannot have the season finishing by June. So if they do continue, they're gonna have the playoffs in July, August, and then when do you start the next season?
This is just my only thing. If you look at any other than sports, everyone else, they work year round and they are getting their paycheck year round. Basketball players work 8 months, but they're still getting the paycheck year round. So even though they're right now in self-quarantine, they're still taking it in a way. They're still earning their money, but instead of the summer vacation, which is going to be shortened for sure, which is going to be shortened if this season continues, which the way NBA is going, I think it will, but I do not agree with it at the moment. At the moment, they should put at a halt everything. They shouldn't even be thinking about sports. Sports are the last thing that you should start.
That is true. It's going terrible around the world right now.
Yeah,
I think another concern is that in previous months before the season was called off, there was many people calling for a shorter season because of the workload on players. So if we do take the playoffs into July and August and start the season around the same time or maybe a bit after, if it goes into August, obviously the season can't start in mid-October or near end of October. It's probably going to push back. And it's going to be very unlikely that they cramp the schedule because already players have showed that they're not willing to play 82 games. For example, the finals MVP from last year decided to only play 60 regular season games that year. So if you cramp the schedule, more big players are gonna load manage or not play as many games, and there's no point of playing so many games if so many of your big players are not playing it.
Hey guys, we got some questions coming in actually. So I think the first one, Farouk Siddiqui has asked, "Hi guys, long time no see. How are you guys keeping up with quarantine?" So Saad Abdullah, what's been up for these last 2 weeks?
I wake up at 2:00 every day. My day's already half gone. I'm doing great.
Yeah,
I think that's going on for most of us, sleeping in, enjoying it. But I've heard you guys will be starting school again, next week, online at least.
looks like it. That's what it looks like. But I think really this past couple of weeks, I think 3 weeks has been there's just been a lot of staying at
Nothing.
home.
Yeah.
A whole lot of nothing, and like the way to entertain yourself, video games and just watching TV shows and stuff.
We've got another one coming in here. How are you guys getting your sports fix these days? This has come from Mohammed Siddiqui.
You
So what are you
know,
guys doing?
the physical real life sports may be down, but virtual sports are going up. You got FIFA, 2K. I've been playing a lot of those. It's very COD.
Yeah, Warzone.
Warzone. And
Yeah.
and we also got someone saying, nice to see you guys again. What are you sporty boys doing to keep yourself fit and healthy during the lockdown? Are you keeping yourself physically fit by any chance? Both, any of us?
Respect for my body. I've gained a lot of weight.
That's unfortunate.
I think it's a real shame because in the end of March and beginning of April, I decided I was going to start going to the gym every day, if not every other day. And the virus has really bugged my calendar and my plans. But we'll see. Maybe when this is over, we can head to the gym. At the time being, it's just.
I think the worst part of the coronavirus, sports-wise, is we wasted a year of LeBron's legacy.
I think more than that, we wasted a year of Kyle Lowry. To be honest, I think we really need Kyle Lowry at his best, and he's playing fantastically well. And he could have been the best point guard in the league this year. It's a bit of a stretch. That's a bit of a stretch.
Wasted a year.
So, just moving on to at least football or soccer, as some of you say, as many say it in parts of the world. The first league, the Belgian league today, decided to hand out the championship to Club Brugge when they still have a few games left in the season, but they've still done it. And the bigger question now is Liverpool, who are 25 games up, do you give them the championship, even though there are 10 games left, but they just needed 1 or 2 more victories to secure it?
I think
you give them the championship.
For giggles, don't give it to them. Sucks to be Liverpool.
I'm with you, but there's more reasoning not to give it to them. If you just give them it, then the teams in relegation will be like, we still have 10 games. We don't want to get relegated.
Yeah, but I think the point you just made about the Belgian league, they gave the title to Club Brugge, but no teams got relegated. They didn't relegate the teams, but the 2 teams who were supposed to get promoted got promoted. So there's going to be more teams playing next year. And I think that's the way to go. You can't relegate teams because they haven't completed their 38 games. But I think it would still be fair to bring the 2 teams up who so in the championship, there's the top 2 automatically going to the Premier League, and then 3, 4, 5, 6 play in the playoffs. I think if the season doesn't resume, which I don't think the Premier League will, especially because how the state of the virus is in England, I think the top 2 teams in the championship should move into the Premier League, and then next season there should be 22 teams in the Premier League. But
I think
Liverpool,
Liverpool, with all due respect, I think cancel the season, restart next year.
I think if they're not going to give them the league, I think they should probably give them some additional points for next year.
I just found it hilarious.
You're just going to give someone points.
Yeah,
you're just going to give Liverpool points, 25 points over everywhere else.
Maybe not 25, but I think maybe 10.
Sorry, I'm moving away from soccer here, but I just found it hilarious. Like the 1 year Golden State were not going to make the playoffs and the finals. The NBA is like, nah, it's over. And I just found that hilarious. And the 1 year Lakers do make the playoffs.
But with Liverpool, they were going to win the Premier League for the first time. Ever since this is the Premier League since '92, I think. And they were close in 2014 when unfortunately someone slipped.
Steven Gerrard.
But since then, that meme blew up.
Last year they were close.
Last year they were close, but Man City were too good. And this year, I think they're not going to slip, but I think other reasons will just hold them back. We got 2 more questions coming in. Are you guys rewatching the Bucks series?
I was kind of busy for game 1, and I think I'm gonna be busy again for game 2. But I'm planning on watching game 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
Right now the Raptors are down 2-0. I hope we win this. This is quite the series.
It's tough. According to Stephen A. Smith, the series is already over. But so what's the point of watching according to him? But I'm gonna watch game 2, game 3, 4. If there is game 5 and 6, maybe a game 7. We'll see.
Asif Kadir here says, "Salam, youngsters. Salam to you back.
Thank you
Atif Bhai.
for tuning in.
Also, I just want to give a quick shout out to Marcus Smart. He had corona, he recovered, and he's now donating his blood plasma for research because he has developed antibodies, which I think is great.
Yeah, I think the
Along
players.
with Marcus Smart, quite a few players have recovered. I think Rudy Gobert was
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, I think Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, both of them, And then the Lakers players, KD's, I think Brooklyn said all those guys are also clear now. So I think they'll all be fine. And I just hope this ends as soon as it can, I want to get back to watching sports,
I hope
talking
Saad-
about sports, playing sports. I also hope Saad comes back sooner than later.
Hey.
Hey, welcome back.
technical difficulties.
No issues.
Oh, okay. So, can we start our conclusion now?
Well then, guys,
Is there anything else you guys want to add?
anything you want to say?
I think there's also one more thing. I
Finish
think a couple of days ago, Juventus said that they would not accept the title if they were given it by the Italian league. But I think the difference between them and Liverpool is that Juventus is 1 point ahead of I think Napoli, who's in second place, compared to Liverpool.
Lazio.
Compared to Liverpool, who are 25 points ahead. So I think it's hard to make a kind of a reference between there.
Paulo
And I think-
Dybala got it, right?
Dybala, yes.
Pardon?
I found that crazy. I think he's the biggest
Dybala.
player who's had it.
Yeah, Dybala. See, in Italy, I think one of the big issues was that they had a Champions League game during when coronavirus hit Europe, especially against Atlanta versus Valencia in the Champions League. And because Atlanta stadium is not big enough, they had it in Milan, which is a bigger stadium, larger capacity, which is I think 60,000. And a lot of those people traveled to Milan and they traveled back.
Yeah.
And in Italy, they call that in a way game zero. From there, Milan's region's been hit hard. A majority of the supporters that went to watch the game in Milan, they're back in Atlanta, they're hit hard. So Italy's been, unfortunately, it's been around the world as well.
Wait, do you guys remember the day the NBA got banned? There's a PSG Champions League, I believe.
Yeah, PSG played Dortmund behind
Yeah,
the
and
closed
the
doors.
fans were banned from entering the stadium, so all the fans were outside, and then the players like to celebrate with them. And
That kind of defeated the purpose of playing without fans, because you're not supposed to be in big groups, but they big groups outside the stadium. And
I
then
think, yeah, that's crazy.
that was crazy.
Yeah, it was just,
We're
I think
waiting.
even Liverpool's game,
Liverpool's game wasn't
even
behind
today.
the closed door, but Liverpool later, Klopp said he thinks that they should have not played the game at all.
Yeah, because they're going to lose, that's why.
Tough to say, but I
And they
think
did lose.
safety was obviously number one priority.
Yeah,
And
I
with
think
that-
everyone, I think now, please make sure you guys stay at home, stay safe, wash your hands as much as you can, and when you go out, make sure you use hand sanitizer, wear your gloves. Try not to go too close to anyone. Do what Abdullah's doing at times, as he did to start the video with Saad, and now as he's ending it.
You guys gonna have it back?
Yeah. You want it back?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right. There's another good exchange. He gave it back now, but
But don't, I
I think
did not touch him.
Yeah, it's not good to.
The game show that I was talking about.
Oh yeah, guys. So just one more thing. Next time, hopefully when we do the video, we're gonna try to do a Kahoot game. So we'll make sure we can get as many of you to go on live, watch us. While we'll be displaying the Kahoot on our screen here, you will have the options on your screen, just like Abdullah's doing here. This is what would happen. But out of us three, I don't think one of us who'd make it wouldn't play, and he'd host it at that point. So
Yeah.
make sure you guys tune in next time. Hopefully in a few days, but we'll let you know. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, on Sports Trends Canada. While also on Instagram, please follow us on the No Good Sports Show.
Stay safe.
I think
Stay healthy.
that's all for today. Have a good night. Stay safe.